Shalom and welcome to my weekly video message. Yesterday, someone forwarded a humorous video clip that was shared by a judge and made its way around social media and on many news outlets. The clip was of a lawyer who could not figure out how to turn off his cat filter during a Zoom hearing. Not only was it a funny clip, but the county attorney, who turned into a cat, took it in very good spirits. And as he told the news, if I can make the country chuckle for a moment in these difficult times they're going through, I'm happy to let them do that at my expense.
I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings. You might want to take
We're
a look.
trying to, can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
I can see that.
Well, I found this video virtually hysterical and had a very good laugh. I found that this video clip hit home for me. No, I do not have a cat and haven't experienced a filter issue of this kind before. But I'd like to share 4 important and timely takeaways that you and I can learn from watching this video. Takeaway number 1. During the past year, most of us have been taking advantage of Zoom or other forms of virtual communications, like the video you are watching right now. And while at times the experience can be more frustrating than humorous, these platforms have also reminded us of the opportunity and need to bring events that are usually experienced elsewhere into our homes. In last week's Torah portion, we read about the greatest revelation in our history, the story of the giving of the Torah at Mount Sinai. In this week's Torah, by contrast, we turn to discuss matters of mundane aspects that govern a nation like crime and civil law. In addressing these seemingly nitty-gritty details, right after our engagement with God at Sinai, God is telling us that Judaism is not a synagogue religion, a faith which requires us to go to a holy place on holy days, or watch holy people say holy prayers. Of course, we need to attend synagogue, and we need to be inspired by people who are holy. But we cannot just feel and experience Judaism when we are at Sinai and our inspiration is running high. We need to bring Judaism into every part of our life by sharing what we learn at synagogue with our family and friends at home and at work. And most importantly, by translating what we learn into practice. In fact, the bulk of the code of Jewish law has nothing to do with synagogue worship. It deals with living Jewishly in our everyday lives, conducting ourselves according to God's will within the down-to-earth realities that we confront at home, in our workplaces, and in our relationship with others. Which brings us to takeaway number 2. When we are sitting in the synagogue, it's easier to feel a sense of holiness and realize that our behaviors, discussions, or thoughts need to be filtered. But what happens when we are outside the synagogue? Most people have good intentions, and they try to live morally and ethically. But Judaism gives us the potential for more than that. The Torah gives us an objective standard of ethical conduct determined by God. The Torah is a divinely inspired moral compass and filter. It allows us to enrich every part of our lives with meaning, depth, and true joy. Which brings us to takeaway number 3. The message of the humorous clip and the laughter it brought to thousands this week is a reminder that bringing Judaism into our home and daily routines isn't enough. Our service of God must be done with joy. Today we enter the Jewish month of Adar, the month when we are told that the standard joy we need to have when we serve God needs to be intensified. As we prepare to celebrate the highlight of this month, the joy of the holiday of Purim, when it is customary for children to dress up in costume and wear masks. The cat filter has one last powerful message, which is my takeaway number 4. You see, one of the reasons for wearing a mask on Purim is that in contrast to the miracles of other Jewish holidays, the miracle of Purim was disguised in natural events. It was only after the fact, when we were able to look at the entire story, that we were able to realize the great miracle that transpired. And so the costumes and masks we will wear this Purim, and the cat filter that brought us all some much needed laughter, is a reminder that the challenging moments we have all been going through are just a filter, a facade. And while we may not currently be able to appreciate it, I believe that soon we will see how every moment in our lives is filled with blessing and miracles. May the intensified joy of the month of Adar be even more intensified with the coming of Mashiach, when all masks will be removed. May it happen today. Shabbat Shalom.